The US Secretary of State has warned Iran could be in a position to develop a nuclear weapon in a matter of weeks. That's down from previous assessments of about a year. Anthony Blinken says a return to the 2015 nuclear agreement is the best way to reduce any threat. He also said that Tehran has accelerated its nuclear program in recent years. Blinken developed the warning at a hearing of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
Thank you, Senator. I can simply say that we share the same objective, which is to make sure that Iran never acquires a nuclear weapon. The question is, what's the most effective way to do that? We've now tested two propositions. One was the nuclear agreement that was originally reached, and that significantly set back Iranian capabilities to pursue a nuclear weapon, particularly the fissile material for such a weapon. And that agreement was working by all objective accounts. In fact, now we have many Israeli colleagues from the security establishment who've come out and said publicly that it was a huge mistake to pull out of the agreement because on its own terms, preventing Iran from acquiring the fissile material necessary for a weapon, it was succeeding. That doesn't address the other concerns that you rightly and we rightly have with Iran, but on its terms, it was working. We've tested the other proposition, which was pulling out of the agreement, trying to exert more pressure, and we've also seen the result. And the result has been that that nuclear program, which had pushed back the breakout time to a year in terms of being able to produce fissile material for a weapon, that's now down to a matter of weeks.
For more on this, we can cross live to the U.S. and join our Rise correspondent, Rotimi Kade. Thank you for joining us, Rotimi. Could you tell us more about Anthony Blinken's, his very stark warning over Iran getting their hands on these nuclear weapons?
Well, Anthony Blinken expressly said that if U.S. do not join the JCPOA agreement with Iran, most likely Iran will definitely develop or have developed a nuclear weapon that in a matter of weeks will be a shock to the rest of the world. But I think that's what he's trying to explain in the committee meetings yesterday when he said that Iran, during the Trump administration's respite, or will I say hiatus period where the U.S. pulled out of that agreement, have taken advantage to actually develop their nuclear capabilities. And now they're ready to more or less jumpstart the nuclear operations in a matter of weeks compared to the estimated 1 year by U.S. and other interested groups. So right now, U.S. is on the brink of most likely losing out or entirely in the deal, and at the same time, Iran moving forward. And if Iran, according to estimation, if they get this nuclear weapons, obviously there are going to be threats to the region in its entirety.
Rotimi, how close are we to seeing the revival of that 2015 nuclear deal?
Well, it's either or, because Iran is actually saying they are ready to go back to the negotiating table. But the problem with that is they're giving strong conditions for them to be able to get back to the negotiating table, which I feel U.S. is not ready to actually abide to. And that's why the talks has been stalled for a while. Examples, for instance, the Iran nuclear, the Iran Revolutionary National Guard, not to be taken out of a terrorist label by the U.S. Is one of the conditions, and I think Biden administration, but in as much as they are willing to go back to the negotiating table, they are not willing to actually take Iran Revolutionary Guard out of the terrorist organizations list of the U.S. So, and there are other conditions as well that Iran is actually asking for before they return to the negotiating table. So it's absolutely not going to be anytime soon. One of the sides will have to blink first before they go back to the negotiating table, I believe.
Our Rise US Correspondent Rotimi Kade, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday. Bye.